Whoopi and Bella Thorne from a lady. All right, so last week I was talking about Whoopi's response to this this celebrity who had sent some naked photos to her boyfriend, and they were on the cloud, and some asshole got him, and he tried to blackmail her, and then Whoopi was just like, "You doing that for? You're famous." And I was like, that's exactly what my mother would have said. This is from a lady. I love when the ladies write in. The thing about what Whoopi said is that I think Thorne realizes she made a mistake. Whoopi just jumping in like, "Hey, dumbass, that was dumb. I'm older and smart." Oh, I'm older. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. You're throwing a little shade her way. And smarter than you. You shouldn't have been so dumb. Isn't helpful. That's not what she said. That's not what she said. All right, she goes, "If I went swimming and lost a foot to a shark," you know, that's a great comparison. I think that, you know, uploading naked photos of yourself that somebody and you look fucking great, by the way. I didn't see him, but like I saw Joy Behar was going, like, if I had a body like that, I'd fucking be plastering around the subway. I love Joy, by the way. I got to work with her on Crashing. She's fucking hilarious. She goes, "If I went swimming and lost a foot to a shark and the paramedic just comes up and says, 'Hey, fuckhead, you should have known sharks are in the ocean. I'm not going to check if you're all right. Just need you to know you are an idiot. I fucking realize I made a mistake. You don't need to publicly chastise me.'" All right, that right there. First of all, what you're saying Whoopi said, she didn't say. And then this comparison is not the same thing. Okay? A paramedic's job is to come up to you if you're bleeding, is to stop the bleeding, to get you to the doctor's, to the hospital while you're still alive. That's his job. Whoopi's job is not to make this person feel better. Okay? And she didn't say, "Hey, dumbass, that was dumb. I'm older and smarter than you. You shouldn't be so dumb." That's not what she said. Okay? And the thing about you fucking people, about people in general, is, you know, when you fuck up in life, if somebody doesn't hold your feet to the fire, speaking of feet, you're not going to learn anything. If people are just constantly coddling you, all right, you don't learn anything. And then secondly, this is a famous person. Famous people are not people. They are just things that people use to get through 10 minutes of their fucking day on a radio show or a fucking blog that they don't feel like doing that day. So part of being in the public eye is getting trashed. All right? At the fucking pathetic level that I'm at. All right? I stopped reading comments on social media years ago. Because it's literally, it's like 80% negative. That's basically what happens. All right? But what I liked about what Whoopi said was it was old school parenting. All right? Yeah, you fucked up. Just because you fucked up doesn't mean you deserve a hug and somebody cries on your shoulder. I'm not saying that you don't deserve that. Okay? But somebody also needs to, like, you know, if you're just like, "Oh my God, this happened and I'm a victim," and somebody just goes, "Yeah, that's so terrible. Oh my God. I hope you're okay." Like, what did you learn? If you take a jump shot at the end of the game when there was a guy underneath and you missed the fucking shot and everybody boos you, and then you're in the locker room crying, is the coach not supposed to bring up that there was a guy open underneath that had a way higher percentage of a shot next time you get into that fucking situation? You know? I will say this. What she didn't do in the end was what a great coach would do, is after he gave you shit for fucking up, he would then build, "Don't worry, you'll get him next time, but blah, 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 blah." All right? I will give you that she didn't do that. But it was refreshing to have somebody, like, hold somebody fucking responsible for their fucking actions. I mean, it was a little ridiculous that you're just going to fucking, that you're going to do something like that. I don't know. She is younger. I don't fucking know. I don't know. But I mean, listen, I'm not even saying Whoopi was right. All I knew is it made me miss my mom. Well, what'd you do that for, you idiot? She always used to do that. You know, well, that's what you get for climbing a tree. I mean, you got to hang on. All right, Saturday. Dear Billy Linguini Istics, greetings from Rome. Oh, one of the great trips I ever took. You're constantly emphasizing the Saturday and Saturday with a Boston accent. Is that from something, or is it just how Boston drunks talk when they're Boston level drunk? Love your music choices. Well, that's Andrew. That's not me. Andrew makes the music choices. Say, I'm gonna come over there on say. It's an exaggeration of Saturday. And there's some people who say Saturday. That's what it is. Why don't you come over on Saturday? We'll figure it out. You know, it's like really a harder Boston accent. So me and my buddies, living in L.A. and missing the Boston accent, exaggerated to the point that it became say. But it's Saturday. My mother-in-law came over this past Saturday, and she was in rare form. That's where it comes from. It just comes from... it comes from, being there and then also watching Steve Sweeney making fun of the Boston accent. And when all of us comics from the Boston scene all ended up in L.A. at the same time, that was, it was a fucking culture shock to go from Boston all the way out to L.A. It's just so fucking different. Both great cities, and I love both of them. But we were young, and we just, we didn't know anything. Our whole lives were spent in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine, all of these guys that I moved out there with roughly the same time. So the way we dealt with being homesick is we hung out with each other. And as we were starting to lose our Boston accents, like as much as I still have one, it's not even remotely what it used to be. I have a very soft Boston accent, if you can believe that. So someone would be like going, they would just say something like that. Would be like, yeah, dude, I got to wash my car today and blah, blah, blah. Wash your what? And they'd be like, car. What? And he'd go, car. That's what we do. So we'd always when we heard somebody pronounce an R, we would just, I don't know why we would do that. It was fucking stupid, but I remember one of the hardest laughs I ever had when I was out there in L.A., we were doing time in this now defunct, the L.A. Cabaret. I can't remember what the fuck it was called. It was this way out in the valley. This fucking comedy club. It was in this strip mall. I forget what it was called, but we were out there. And Bob Marley was on stage, and he was talking about moving across the country with his wife. And he was telling the story, and there was 8 people there, and 7 of them were comedians. It was ridiculous. There was nobody there, and he was standing there, and he was going, "Yeah, when we moved across country," and he goes, "We took a fucking," and he jumped up in the air, and landed in the squat position. He goes, "We took a fucking rider." The rider truck. And it was just so silly and ridiculous. And we were all so frustrated that we weren't getting good stage time. And a lot of us thinking, what the fuck had we done? That we just fell out laughing. And it was funny. He did that well over 20 years ago, and I never forgot it. And to this day, when I drive down the street and I see, they're not yellow anymore because the fucking idiots in the World Trade, I believe, they switched them to white. Whenever I see one, I always think of that every time. It's just the joke that keeps giving. All right.